Hello, Los Angeles Dodgers fans. We've got fresh, exclusive videos and the latest updates just for you. Before we dive in, make sure to join our channel and hit that like button. This is the best way to stay on top of all the breaking news. The story of the Los Angeles Dodgers in the early stretch of the 2025 Major League Baseball season has been a roller coaster of extremes, soaring highs and frustrating lows, all of which seem to mirror the emotional and physical journey of one of baseball's brightest stars, Shohei Ohtani. Through the first 25 games of this long campaign, the Dodgers have shown flashes of dominance and moments of disarray, a dynamic that also reflects the personal performance arc of their most iconic player. Shohei Ohtani, the reigning National League Most Valuable Player and arguably the most electrifying figure in professional baseball, has not been spared from the inconsistencies that have defined his team's early season. Known for his unprecedented ability to impact the game both as a hitter and a pitcher, Ohtani entered the 2025 season surrounded by enormous expectations from fans, teammates, and himself. And as with any athlete carrying that much weight on their shoulders, there are bound to be stretches where the burden becomes visible. When the season began, the Dodgers stormed out of the gates with an 8-game winning streak that sent a message to the rest of the league. Even without Freddie Freeman, who was sidelined for much of that early hot streak while nursing a surgically repaired right ankle, Los Angeles looked formidable, and Ohtani was a central reason why. His numbers during that stretch were dazzling. A .333 batting average, a .459 on-base percentage, and a .667 slugging percentage. He was locked in, seeing the ball well, and driving the offense with his trademark blend of power, patience, and precision. He crossed home plate 11 times during those 8 games, serving as the engine that propelled the Dodgers forward. But as baseball often reminds us, even the greatest talents are not immune to slumps. And over the next 15 games, Ohtani's bat began to cool off, and with it, so did the Dodgers' winning momentum. Over that more recent span, his offensive output dropped significantly. He posted a batting line of .226/.304/.403, numbers that, while not abysmal for an average player, represent a sharp decline for someone of Ohtani's caliber. The most telling sign of his struggles lies in the disparity between his strikeouts and walks. 21 times he went down on strikes, managing just 7 walks in that same period. The normally disciplined and dangerous Ohtani was chasing pitches, missing his spots, and losing control of his at-bats. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts, never one to publicly overreact, offered a measured analysis of what he sees happening at the plate. According to comments shared with Jack Harris of the Los Angeles Times, Roberts believes that Ohtani's current slump may not be entirely about mechanics or talent, but rather a mental adjustment, or perhaps an overcorrection. "I don't know if he's trying to do something, trying too hard," Roberts said, his voice reflecting both concern and understanding. "There's a couple walks he has taken recently, but there's other times where he's getting himself out instead of taking a walk if given to him." That phrase, getting himself out, has become a focal point of discussions around Ohtani's recent at-bats. It suggests not that opposing pitchers are beating him, but that he's beating himself. Whether it's by expanding the strike zone, lunging at off-speed pitches, or falling into predictable patterns, Ohtani seems to be stepping outside his usual rhythm and approach. It was particularly evident during Wednesday's frustrating loss to the Chicago Cubs. In one key at-bat, after working the count in his favor to 2-0, a classic hitter's count, Ohtani inexplicably chased a borderline pitch and then followed it up with more questionable swings, ultimately failing to reach base. It was a sequence that, to longtime observers of his game, looked completely out of character. That single at-bat served as a microcosm of his recent troubles. He's not swinging freely and confidently, as he did in the opening stretch of the season. Instead, there's a subtle tension in his body language, a slight hesitation in his reactions, and a growing sense that he's trying to force his way out of the slump rather than letting the game come to him. And while Ohtani is a player of rare ability and immense discipline, baseball has a way of humbling even the best when the mental side of the game starts to cloud the physical. The Dodgers, too, have felt the weight of Ohtani's downturn. Over the same 15-game span in which his numbers dipped, the team stumbled to a 7-8 record. While it would be overly simplistic to lay the blame solely at Ohtani's feet, there's no denying the correlation. The Dodgers' offensive attack, so reliant on the rhythm and presence of their superstar, has lacked its usual punch. Other stars in the lineup have struggled as well, and injuries continue to test the team's depth. But getting Ohtani back to peak form could help paper over some of those cracks, at least in the short term. There is, however, reason for optimism on the horizon, particularly when it comes to Ohtani's overall health and his two-way contributions. Although he remains under restrictions and is not yet cleared to face live hitters, Ohtani has been throwing bullpen sessions and reports feeling physically strong. For someone who underwent a second major elbow procedure and entered 2025 with significant scrutiny over his recovery timeline, this is encouraging news. Ohtani himself has acknowledged the importance of patience during this part of the journey. He understands a long-term vision the Dodgers have for his role on the mound and is fully on board with the methodical approach the team's medical and coaching staff have laid out. There's no need to rush back. No reason to jeopardize a second half of the season that could be historic. And yet, for a competitor like Ohtani, simply knowing that his body is responding well to regular throwing routines brings a sense of confidence that cannot be overstated. While the results at the plate have been underwhelming recently, Ohtani's presence in the dugout and clubhouse remains invaluable. He's a leader by example, a superstar who carries himself with humility and diligence, even in the face of adversity. His teammates look to him not just for home runs and highlight reel moments, but for the calm and focus he brings day after day. And as the Dodgers navigate this early turbulence, that leadership could be just as important as any stat line. This slump, like all others, will eventually pass. Shohei Ohtani has shown time and again that he is capable of adjusting, learning, and elevating his game when it matters most. He may be chasing pitches right now, pressing in moments where he once thrived, but he is still Shohei Ohtani, a generational talent with the tools to turn things around in spectacular fashion. But before we move forward, don't forget to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest news about the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the news, so drop a comment below. Dave Roberts, the manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers, is not known for making dramatic statements in public. He tends to keep things steady, diplomatic, and measured, especially when it comes to handling players. But after a string of events that unfolded with outfielder TEOSCAR Hernandez, Roberts broke character, and his words couldn't have been clearer. When asked about Hernandez's future role with the team, he looked the reporters dead in the eyes and said, "It doesn't play for me anymore." Just like that. No sugarcoating, no backtracking. It was a statement that sent shockwaves through the clubhouse and beyond, raising eyebrows across the baseball world. What happened between Roberts and Hernandez to lead to such a definitive and public declaration? For a team like the Dodgers, who are not just chasing wins, but championship parades, every detail matters. Every player, every decision, every bit of chemistry in the clubhouse contributes to the bigger picture. And TEOSCAR Hernandez, at least when he was signed, was supposed to be a major piece of that puzzle. Coming off a productive stint with the Toronto Blue Jays and a solid, though streaky, year with the Mariners, Hernandez brought with him a reputation for power hitting and clutch moments. His bat was supposed to add thunder to an already intimidating Dodgers lineup. His presence in the outfield was expected to shore up defensive depth. But sometimes talent alone doesn't guarantee fit. Reports out of the Dodgers camp in recent weeks have suggested that there were mounting tensions behind the scenes. While nobody wanted to go on record, whispers about Hernandez's lack of effort in certain situations, late arrivals to team meetings, and what some interpreted as a me-first attitude began to surface. It's important to note that these are still rumors, and nothing has been confirmed in detail, but in the high-stakes environment of Los Angeles baseball, perception can often shape reality. And if Roberts felt those behaviors were real, or at least impactful enough to disrupt the team dynamic, his decision makes more sense. In games leading up to Roberts' comment, Hernandez had started to see his playing time reduced. Analysts chalked it up to matchups, performance dips, or simple rotation management. But when you look back with hindsight, it's clear something deeper was brewing. Hernandez's body language in the dugout looked off. He was less engaged during games, and his interactions with teammates grew noticeably colder. These small things often go unnoticed in a long 162-game season, but not in Los Angeles. Not with a team expected to dominate from April to October. The final straw remains unclear. Whether it was a specific incident, like an argument, a breach of team rules, or just the culmination of weeks of tension, is something only those inside the clubhouse truly know. But what we do know is that Dave Roberts is not a manager who throws around ultimatums. His public statement wasn't just a message to Hernandez, it was a message to the entire roster. Fall in line, respect the culture, or face the consequences. This was Roberts reaffirming control, drawing a line in the sand, and reminding everyone that no one is bigger than the team. For Hernandez, this is a turning point. His talent is undeniable. There are few hitters in the league who can change a game with a single swing like he can. But baseball isn't just about numbers. It's about relationships, commitment, consistency, and trust. Once that trust is broken, especially with a manager like Roberts, it can be nearly impossible to recover. The Dodgers, a franchise built on professionalism and tradition, won't tolerate internal fractures. And Roberts, having led this team through both triumphs and heartbreaks, knows the value of keeping the locker room united. What happens next for Hernandez is anyone's guess. He's still under contract, and there's no official word yet on whether the Dodgers will trade him, release him, or simply stash him away until further notice. But one thing is certain. His role in Los Angeles is over as long as Roberts remains at the helm. That's not just speculation. That's a direct quote. And in today's game, such definitive language from a manager is almost unheard of. It's as close to a baseball excommunication as you'll ever see in the modern era. The fans are torn. Some believe Roberts is being too harsh, that maybe a private conversation or disciplinary fine would have sufficed. Others back the manager completely, applauding him for putting team unity above individual star power. Social media has erupted with debates, some fans defending Hernandez's contributions on the field, others pointing to his inconsistencies and saying this split was inevitable. That's the nature of big-market baseball. Every controversy becomes a national conversation. It's also a reminder that even the most star-studded rosters are fragile. The Dodgers are loaded with talent from top to bottom, but winning isn't just about stacking the best players. It's about building the best team. And that includes harmony in the locker room. If one piece of that puzzle begins to disrupt the whole, a good manager has to act swiftly, decisively, and sometimes publicly. That's exactly what Dave Roberts did. And while it might seem like a harsh measure now, it could very well be the moment that preserves the Dodgers' shot at another deep postseason run. TEOSCAR Hernandez will likely find another opportunity. Baseball has a short memory when talent is involved. But he'll carry the weight of this fallout with him. Managers talk, front offices take notes, and players watch how their peers handle adversity. This moment, this quote from Dave Roberts, will follow Hernandez wherever he goes next. For Roberts, this was about principle, about sending a message that the Dodgers are not just a team of stars, but a team of standards. He made that message loud and clear. And now, the rest of the league is watching. That's all for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with exclusive news about the Los Angeles Dodgers, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We always appreciate your comments and feedback. See you in the next video.